It's live.
Active Classroom can be a convenient resource to work with your students remotely. You can search for activities and find those activities, assign them to students. Here's an activity that I want to assign the students on, let's see, early Greek civilizations. I'm going to go here, make this an assignment to my students. I'm going to set a due date. It's going to be due at the end of this week. It's going to be launched and available today. Now that means that you can also set an unlock date of next week if you wanted students to work sometime in the future. I can decide whether I want the students to read all of this activity, whether I'm assigning everything to them, in which case I select it all, or I might just want to have a few key readings. And if I don't remember, I can always click on this title and it'll show me what that reading is. And I remember, yes, that's what I want. So now I'm just going to assign these 3 readings. I need to pick my students, and I've got this, my remote U.S. history course. Well, they're going to get some Greek history, and I'm going to put in my instructions here. Complete the readings and questions and submit for a grade, so the students know what to do. And now I can save this assignment, and that's great. So now if I went in as a remote student, let me show you what it looks like from a student point of view. Remote student 1 goes in and sees that they have assignments and grades. Here's this assignment on early Greek civilizations. They can launch that assignment. They get the instructions here, and then they're able to complete their activities here, do the readings, and you see here it's just the readings that I assigned, and they're able to actually answer the questions and then turn in the assignment when they're done. If they ever want to go back and look at this, they can look at that. But there's also something for every assignment that you as a teacher create. You also have an online discussion forum. So say you wanted to ask the students to work in the discussion forums. Let's go back. I created one earlier. I go to discussions, either as a student or a teacher, and I look at discussions either by assignment, or there might be a general discussion that's created that's sort of for general ideas for the course. By assignment would be something very specific. So I set this one up a little bit earlier on ancient China. I go into the general discussion, and as a teacher, I put something in. I put a prompt in for the students to respond to. And now, as remote student 1, I see the teacher said, legends are stories that are believed to be based on truth but cannot be proved. What are some legends that are important to an important part of our nation's history? And so I can respond to that by clicking on the little link here. I'm responding as the student now, and I say, we have the legend of Johnny, wait, how do you spell Johnny Appleseed? Okay, and I can say that and submit that. I don't think I spelled Johnny right even in the end there. And then close this out. And now the students responded to that. So there's a way to create a dialogue with the students around specific activities. And as a student, if I go back to my assignment, and I'll go back here to assignments and launch this assignment again. Here's the one I just did on early Greeks. I can actually find something. Say they wanted me to find something in the text. I can highlight something in the text, click on my little thing here, and it's going to quote that, and I can say, this is a main idea, and we should reflect on it. Okay, so now as a student, I'm able, and it's quoting what was there in the text and then allowing me to look at that. Now, if I want to go back in and look at that, I can go into this discussion, and I can see where the student quoted from the text and was able to add that. So that's a really powerful tool that within any assignment that the student's working on, they can just highlight words and bring those directly into the discussion so that you can have really text-based, close reading that's really developing student skills. So that's a really important thing. You can also have general discussions that you create for your students. Let me go back out to a teacher account so I can show you how to create a general discussion. So if I'm here, I can click on my discussions link, and I can go here. Now it's showing me the assignments that I've made, but I can go here to general. And here's an example of this general discussion that I created, a discussion for our remote US history course. And I went in the week 10 discussion prompt. The teacher said, in the struggle for civil rights in the United States, Malcolm X and Martin Luther King each took different approaches. Which approach do you think was more effective? Be sure to cite evidence. And then the students respond. Here's one student, and then student 2 responding. So that's, again, what a general discussion might look like. Let's go in from the teacher's point of view, though, and just start fresh. How do I do this and when I want to get started? So I click on discussions. I go to general. I create a new forum. I'm going to call this discussion for world history. I'm going to select forum participants. Now this can be a whole class. So I'm going to select my whole remote class to be a part of this one. And now I'm going to save it. Okay, and now here's my discussion for world history, and I can go into it, and it comes up with basic information, but as a teacher, I now go in and edit this, and instead of saying discussion for world history, I can put a prompt in here. So I can say something like, China was once a great civilization, but then things changed. Why do you think that was? Okay, but it could be any type of question. This could be a place for general questions that you want to ask your teacher, and then the students come in here and they have access to this, and they come in and the teachers can tell them to focus on that. So I think the discussions are going to be a great way to enhance that remote learning. We saw how you can make an assignment. That assignment goes out to the students. The students can do that reading. They can follow the instructions. They can complete the activity. But these discussions allow you to have a dialogue with your students about the content. Now, on a general level, in terms of other resources within Active Classroom, I clicked here on our help symbol, the little question mark, and you've got video tutorials here. So if you have questions about, okay, I've assigned things to students, how do I grade assignments? You can click on this little video, and in 2 minutes or less, it'll go through and it'll create a little step-by-step video for you.
Top of the page to choose a student to grade.
And so it'll walk you through all of these things. So look at these short video tutorials that can bring you up to speed. Also, both you and the students have teacher's guides built in on the help pages that allow you, that give you a very visual, step-by-step way to move through any given activity. So we're just waiting for this to come up here. If I want to see how do I manage assignments, I click on that link, and it gives me a very visual, step-by-step understanding of how to work with this. If I want to download this file, I can click here and download this as a PDF file so that I can print it out and work with it. So those are pretty much the shortcuts that you can use to be a successful active classroom teacher working remotely with your students.
Aaron, do you want to share something about how did you show how the parents can gain access?
Yes, very good. So how do we give parent access? I can click on my profile, which includes my picture and my name. And if I scroll down on the page here, there's a link, a parent's registration URL. And what this does is this allows parents to register themselves. Let me just get a new window here. And so the parent goes in, the parent puts in their information. They need to put in the student email information, click I agree and register. What that will do is that'll send an email to the teacher of record for that student saying that this person has applied to be have a parent account that's connected to the student account. When that's approved by the teacher, that means that parents will be able to use their login and password at the main Active Classroom login page here. When they log in, they will be looking at essentially their student's account, and they'll have access to see everything the student's been assigned, everything the student's working on. The only thing they cannot do is fill in the answers on behalf of the student. So they've got full view of student work, student grades, feedback from teachers. They can see everything there. Jason, is there anything else you'd like me to show for today?
I think that's pretty good. Vicki or Stephanie, do you have anything else?
I think that's good. I think that sounds fine.
I'm good. I think that was very helpful. Thank you.
Okay, well, I'll stop the recording and try to edit this part out.